There are small towns, and then there are towns that are so isolated, so far removed from the rest of civilization, that getting there can feel like an adventure all by itself. Today we're looking at the 10 most secluded towns in the United States. These aren't just places with small populations. These are communities surrounded by mountains, deserts, forests, rivers, and in some cases, thousands of square miles of wilderness. Some can only be reached by boat. Some require hours of driving through empty landscapes, and one doesn't even have a road connecting it to the rest of America. Now, being secluded isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, many of these towns are exactly what people dream about when they imagine escaping crowded cities, traffic jams, and endless noise. The residents here trade convenience for peace and quiet, and most wouldn't have it any other way. So grab your favorite snack, settle in, and let's count down the 10 most secluded towns in the United States. Number 10. Jordan Valley, Oregon. Located in the far southeastern corner of Oregon, Jordan Valley is one of those places that feels like it's been forgotten by time. Sitting near the Idaho border, this small ranching community has a population of only a few hundred residents and is surrounded by vast stretches of high desert. The nearest larger towns are many miles away, and the landscape between them is mostly open range, rocky hills, and endless sky. If you enjoy seeing more cattle than people, Jordan Valley might be your kind of place. Founded in the late 1800s, the town developed around cattle ranching, which remains a major part of the local economy today. Residents here are accustomed to handling things on their own because services are limited, and trips to bigger cities require serious planning. One of the biggest attractions nearby is Leslie Gulch, a stunning area of volcanic rock formations that looks more like something you'd expect to find on another planet. Visitors who make the trip are often surprised by how beautiful and untouched the region feels. Life here is quiet, slow-paced, and incredibly remote. For many people, that sounds challenging, but for the residents of Jordan Valley, it's exactly why they stay. Number 9. Winnett, Montana. Montana has no shortage of remote places, but Winnett manages to stand out even in a state known for wide-open spaces. Located in central Montana, Winnett serves as the county seat of Petroleum County, which happens to be one of the least populated counties in America. The town itself has only a couple hundred residents, and there are miles upon miles of prairie in every direction. The nearest Walmart isn't just down the road, it's an actual day trip. Originally established as a ranching center in the early 20th century, Winnett has maintained its rural character for generations. Agriculture remains the backbone of the local economy, and many families have lived in the area for decades. One thing people notice immediately is the silence. There aren't many cars, there aren't many people, and there certainly aren't many traffic lights. What you do get is incredible scenery, dark night skies, and some of the best stargazing conditions in the country. Living in Winnett requires independence. Residents often travel long distances for medical care, shopping, and specialized services. Yet many locals wouldn't trade their lifestyle for anything because they value the freedom and space that comes with living far from the crowds. Number 8. Mentone, Texas. When people think of Texas, they usually picture Dallas, Houston, Austin, or San Antonio. Mentone is the exact opposite of all of those places. Located in Loving County, Mentone sits in the least populated county in the entire United States. Loving County regularly has fewer than 100 residents, and Mentone serves as its tiny county seat. The town is surrounded by the rugged landscapes of West Texas. Oil and gas activity plays an important role in the local economy, but even with that industry present, the area remains remarkably isolated. You won't find major shopping centers, large neighborhoods, or heavy traffic here. Instead, you'll find endless horizons, and a lifestyle centered around self-reliance. One of the things that makes Mentone unique is just how empty the surrounding area feels. You can drive for long stretches without seeing much more than oil pumps, desert terrain, and an occasional ranch. For people who enjoy solitude, that's part of the appeal. The remoteness creates a sense of freedom that's becoming increasingly rare in modern America. Number 7. Stanley, Idaho. Nestled in the heart of the Idaho mountains, Stanley may be one of the most beautiful, secluded towns in America. With dramatic peaks surrounding the community on nearly every side, Stanley looks like something straight out of a postcard. The town sits near the Sawtooth Mountains and serves as a gateway to some of the most spectacular wilderness in the western United States. Despite its popularity among outdoor enthusiasts, Stanley remains extremely remote. The nearest major city is several hours away, and winter weather can make travel even more difficult. The permanent population is small, but visitors arrive throughout the year to hike, fish, raft, camp, and explore the surrounding wilderness. One reason people love Stanley is the incredible scenery. Crystal clear rivers, alpine lakes, and towering mountains are found in every direction. The town also experiences some of the coldest winter temperatures in the lower 48 states. Living here means accepting limited services and long drives, but residents are rewarded with world-class outdoor recreation literally right outside their front doors. If you're looking for a secluded mountain paradise, Stanley might be as close as America gets. Number 6. Angle Inlet, Minnesota. Most people have never heard of Angle Inlet, but it's one of the strangest and most isolated communities in the country. Located at the northernmost point of the contiguous United States, Angle Inlet is geographically separated from the rest of Minnesota. To reach it by road, residents and visitors must actually travel through Canada before re-entering the United States. That's right. To drive to this American town from another part of America, you have to pass through another country. The town sits along Lake of the Woods and is known for incredible fishing opportunities, stunning natural beauty, and a lifestyle centered around the outdoors. The year-round population is tiny, although seasonal visitors significantly increase the numbers during fishing and recreation seasons. Because of its unusual location, everyday life requires more planning than in most places. Travel, deliveries, and services can all be more complicated than they are elsewhere. Still, many residents consider Angle Inlet a hidden gem. The breathtaking scenery, abundant wildlife, and peaceful atmosphere make it one of the most unique places to live in the entire United States. And if you enjoy being far away from the rest of the world, Angle Inlet definitely delivers. Number 5. Green Bank, West Virginia. Nestled deep within the mountains of eastern West Virginia, Green Bank is one of the most unusual towns in America. While it's already fairly isolated because of its location in the Appalachian Mountains, that's not what makes it famous. Green Bank sits inside the National Radio Quiet Zone, a massive area where radio transmissions are heavily restricted to protect the incredibly sensitive equipment at the Green Bank Observatory. Cell phone towers are limited, Wi-Fi signals are controlled in certain areas, and many modern wireless devices are restricted near the observatory. For most Americans, living without constant connectivity sounds impossible. For the residents of Green Bank, it's just another day. The town has a small population and a peaceful atmosphere that feels increasingly rare in today's connected world. Many people move here specifically to escape the constant buzz of technology and enjoy a slower pace of life. Surrounded by forests, mountains, and winding country roads, Green Bank offers a level of quiet that's hard to find anywhere else. Visitors often describe the experience as stepping back into a simpler era. While isolation can make access to services and shopping more difficult, residents enjoy something many Americans never experience anymore: true silence. And in a world that's constantly connected, that might be one of the most valuable things of all. Number 4. Supai, Arizona. If there were an award for the most difficult-to-reach town in the lower 48 states, Supai would be one of the top contenders. Located deep within the Grand Canyon, Supai is the capital of the Havasupai tribe and remains one of the most isolated communities in America. There are no roads leading directly into town. Let me repeat that: no roads. To get there, visitors must hike roughly 8 miles through canyon terrain, ride horseback, or arrive by helicopter service. That's it. Because of its location, nearly everything entering the community requires extra effort. Supplies, mail, and equipment all face logistical challenges that most towns never have to deal with. Yet despite its remoteness, Supai is surrounded by some of the most stunning scenery on Earth. The famous turquoise-blue waterfalls of Havasu Creek attract visitors from around the world. Life here is deeply connected to the land and traditions of the Havasupai people. The pace is slower, the surroundings are breathtaking, and modern conveniences are far less important than community and nature. For many Americans, isolation is something to avoid. For Supai, isolation has helped preserve a unique culture and way of life that has existed for generations. Number 3. Whittier, Alaska. Alaska dominates almost every conversation about remote places, and Whittier is one of the state's most fascinating examples. Located on Prince William Sound, Whittier is surrounded by mountains, glaciers, and water. Getting there requires traveling through the Anton Anderson Memorial Tunnel, the longest highway tunnel in North America. The tunnel is so unique that traffic alternates directions on a schedule throughout the day. But that's only part of the story. Whittier is famous because most of the town's residents live inside a single building known as Begich Towers. The structure contains apartments, a post office, a convenience store, and several essential services all under one roof. Imagine living in a town where nearly everyone is your neighbor in the same building. Heavy snowfall, rugged terrain, and the surrounding wilderness contribute to the town's isolation. Yet residents enjoy access to some of Alaska's most incredible natural beauty. Fishing, kayaking, wildlife viewing, and boating are major parts of life here. Bald eagles, whales, sea otters, and black bears are all common sights in the area. Whittier proves that even in one of America's most remote states, communities can find creative ways to thrive. Number 2. Adak, Alaska. If you want to live about as far away from the rest of America as possible, Adak deserves your attention. Located in the Aleutian Islands, Adak sits roughly 1,200 miles southwest of Anchorage and thousands of miles from most major American cities. The community was originally developed around a military installation during World War II and later became an important Cold War base. Today, the military presence is largely gone, but a small civilian population remains. Life in Adak isn't easy. Weather conditions can be harsh, with powerful winds, frequent storms, and long stretches of cloudy skies. Shipping supplies is expensive, travel options are limited, and residents must plan far ahead for many everyday necessities. But what Adak lacks in convenience, it makes up for in uniqueness. The surrounding landscapes are dramatic and largely untouched. Wildlife is abundant, fishing opportunities are exceptional, and there are vast areas where you might not see another person for hours or even days. For adventurous individuals seeking true isolation, Adak offers something increasingly rare in modern America: the feeling of being at the edge of the world. Number 1. Port Alsworth, Alaska. Taking the #1 spot on our list is Port Alsworth, Alaska. Located within the Lake Clark National Park and Preserve region, Port Alsworth is one of the most secluded communities in the United States. Unlike most towns, there are no highways connecting it to the broader road network. Air travel is the primary way residents and visitors reach the community. Think about that for a second. Most Americans can simply get in a car and drive somewhere. In Port Alsworth, that's not an option. The town sits in an area surrounded by towering mountains, pristine lakes, glaciers, and millions of acres of wilderness. The scenery is absolutely spectacular, but it also highlights just how isolated the community really is. Residents rely heavily on aviation, careful planning, and strong community relationships. Supplies often arrive by aircraft, and weather conditions can significantly affect travel schedules. Despite these challenges, many residents consider Port Alsworth one of the best places in America to live. The natural beauty is almost impossible to describe, wildlife is everywhere, and the sense of peace is unlike anything found in larger cities. When it comes to balancing breathtaking wilderness with true remoteness, Port Alsworth stands in a category of its own. The last word. So those were 10 of the most secluded towns in the United States. From remote desert communities in Texas and Oregon to isolated mountain towns in Idaho and West Virginia, and all the way to the far reaches of Alaska, these places remind us that America still has vast regions where nature remains in charge and people live life at a very different pace. Now, some of these towns might sound like paradise to you, while others might seem a little too far off the grid. Personally, I think a week in most of these places would be amazing. Living there year-round? That's a completely different conversation. But that's what makes these communities so fascinating. They show us that there isn't just one way to live in America. Some people prefer busy cities, while others choose places where the nearest neighbor might be miles away, and silence is part of everyday life. Let me know in the comments which of these towns you'd actually consider living in, and if there's a secluded town you think should have made the list. As always, thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.